All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, May 9th. We have a 7-game MLB slate to dive into in today's video. Like we always do, we're going to go through each and every one of these games. I'm going to give you my lean on the side. I'll give you my lean on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we're liking in the game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye on the pinned comment of this video. That is where all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself, all of my final plays will live. In terms of last night, we do have a 2-3 night from an X's and O's standpoint, right? The green checks versus the red X's. But the good thing is that our 2 wins were full unit plays, which we have rarely tossed out full unit plays thus far into the MLB season because it's such an analytical sport that we're kind of slowly rolling into it, just like we did last year. It was helpful and whatnot. But I will say the Padres' first 5 money line was one of my favorite plays on the board yesterday. The Diamondbacks and Reds under, I could say it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Just kind of going through that, I was a little distracted as I was placing bet. I accidentally put a full unit on. So this is probably supposed to be a half unit play. It wasn't. I wanted to be honest in the comments, so I put it as a a full unit play, and it cashed. So you know what? Sometimes luck bounces your way, and we like that because, again, 2 full unit cashes yesterday, our losses being half unit plays. So, yeah, maybe we lucked into that one, maybe not, but nonetheless, I will take it. And we're probably like a week or so away from me being confident with some of these full unit plays that we're rolling out. So, yeah, we'll probably see a few more of those in the pinned comment as we kind of progress throughout the next couple weeks here. The unfortunate news here, the ride of the day from Josh. I liked it. If you guys don't know, 2 days ago, I had the under in the Detroit and Cleveland game. It was under 8.5, and at the end of 2, the score was 7-5. So I was like, what are we doing here? I like the ballsy play of Josh saying, you know what, let's not get afraid of that, run it back. They finished with 9 runs. The under does not hit. So, unfortunately, the ride of the day does not cash here. If you guys want a chance to be shouted out in tomorrow's video, use hashtag ride of the day just like Josh did. Use hashtag ride of the day with your favorite pick in the comments. I'm jumping on board with one person's pick, and again, giving you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. If you win, we continue to ride with your play. So go ahead and get those hashtag ride of the days in the comments. Guys, before we do get to this slate, special shout out to myself, I guess. The Ev Singleton Show premieres today at 12 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. I take a bunch of your voicemails that you left last week. We react to them, talking about the worst sports betting moments. Really, really cool, guys. It's more of a podcast-esque type of a show, so would really appreciate it if you guys go check that out. Again, 12 p.m. Eastern time. It premieres. You can get in the live chat with everyone, but obviously it's going to be kind of posted just like a normal video as well. So make sure to go check that out. Would mean a lot. This is a thing that we're diving pretty damn deep into. A lot of, I guess, monetary and emotional investment into the show. So hopefully you guys do enjoy it. I had a blast recording it and listening to all of your voicemails. There's a teaser out on Twitter right now if you guys do want to check that out. But yeah, all right, enough rambling from me. Let's go ahead and jump into this slate. Make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button and like button as well. We crushed the like goal in yesterday's video. We'll talk about that in a second, but we're starting off here with Cincinnati taking on Arizona. Hunter Green on the mound going up against Slade Cecchione, Slade C, as I'll call him, because I can't pronounce the word cat. In this spot here, I think my immediate reaction is to look at the under. We cashed it yesterday, albeit an accidental full unit, but it was still a play we liked. And you have both offenses, which neither one of these scare me overall. Cincinnati right-handed pitchers, not all that great. Arizona right-handed pitchers, not all that great. So I'm not really afraid of either of the offenses. My one concern is Slade going to get got? He has a bad ERA, but everything else kind of checks out. So I do think that my immediate lean is towards the under. From a money line perspective, I almost want to ride with Cincinnati, but I'm not necessarily loving their bats. Like, if you were to tell me who's the coldest, it's either them or I guess you could even say the Pirates, which I don't even know if that's like totally fair. But yeah, like there's such a cold offense that I don't really want to get on board with them. So I do lean Cincinnati because I like Hunter Green more than Slade Cecchione here, but overall, I think my favorite play in this spot is going to be the under 9. My one, I guess you can call it one small concern here is, again, look at this. We got this at yesterday. We got this at 9. It's staying at 9 now, cashed by 2 runs yesterday with 2 bad offenses. Are we falling into a trap here? I don't know. I don't think so. Give me the under 9 as my main play. And then, like I said, I'll trust Hunter Green over Slade. A slight lean towards Cincinnati as well. Next up, we have Minnesota taking on Seattle. To start with a total again, like seeing 6.5, it's almost like when we get those low NBA numbers for totals, I want to pull the trigger on it. I know we have two really, really good pitchers on the mound, Logan Gilbert on the bump for Seattle, and then Pablo Lopez on the mound for Minnesota. But seriously, if we look at this, it's like there's a lot of green in these offenses, right? Especially on the Minnesota side of things. So I think that I actually immediately lean to the over because, again, you can have a 4-3 game here that seems like the pitchers got the job done and even the bullpens got the job done, but it stays low scoring. Like if this is 7.5, I don't think that I'm considering the over because obviously 4-3 is an under in that standpoint, but 6.5, I could see that happening. So I'm going to lean towards the over as well as Minnesota on the money line. I'm going to trust Pablo Lopez here. The one thing that kind of caught me was Pablo Lopez, obviously a fastball pitcher. Half of his pitchers are fastballs. We see in the pitch mix, right? Seattle not necessarily the best team in terms of runs above average against the fastball, so I kind of jump right to that. You see Logan Gilbert's going to go fastball as well as slider as his two main pitches, even cutter for that standpoint. Minnesota, fastball first and runs above average, cutter 8th, and then slider 8th. So the pitch mix kind of got me to the Minnesota side of things. So give me Minnesota here as well as the over 6.5, which is crazy to say with these two pitchers on the mound. Guys, if you do want access to this dashboard that we've built, at the bottom here, you'll see all of these tabs. We break out each and every game from a really good sort of bird's eye high level view so you know where to start your sports betting research. You guys are hating on me for it, but I want to bring this to the ballers, the channel members here. If you do want to join that, you get exclusive perks and comments and emojis and whatnot. $2.99 a month, right? But I keep giving you these lofty like goals. Yesterday was 500 likes and we hit it in like 2 hours. Let's go 550 today. I don't know how much longer we can increase the like goal and you guys keep crushing it. If you do hit that goal, we'll leave this free for, again, another day. So go ahead and hit that like button. Check this link out in the pinned comment. So many of you guys have had, respect to you guys for saying how much you like this tool because this took us hours to build and we have even more stuff coming down the line for it. So go check out the dashboard. If you hit 550 likes again, we'll leave it free for another day. Selfishly, I want to monetize this, but you guys, you're hitting the like button so much that I really can't even deny the fun it's been and obviously the benefit that we're yielding from getting likes on the video. So appreciate you guys for hitting that like button. If you want access to the dashboard, hit that like button again. But yeah, we like the over as well as Minnesota in this spot. Let's keep it going. Actually, before we do jump into the next game here, I do want to talk to you guys about DG Fantasy, Daily Grind Fantasy. You've seen me use this tool on the videos as well as on the live streams. What this is a prize picks optimizer. You can also do it for underdog, parlay play, sleeper, all of the apps out there. But really what it does is it takes into account these DFS apps that don't really care about odds, right? Prize picks 2 for 2 is 3x, 3 for 3 is blah, blah, blah. Like they don't care about the odds of the plays. So what this optimizer does is it goes through the main sports books in the world and says, okay, well, where are you pricing this? For example here, Jackson Chourio, right? Over 0.5 total bases, average sportsbooks odds of -141. Why wouldn't you be putting this in your prize pick slip, an app that does not care about odds? Most sportsbooks are saying -140, -140, -145, that this is most likely going to hit due to the fact that, sportsbooks have been around for a long time. The more juice to play is, the higher the negative number, the more often they're saying, hey, this is probably most likely going to hit. What's cool is that they mathematically determine the percent odds to hit based on the odds that sportsbooks are sending it out there too. So you can literally come in here, no research, just filter to, or sort by, I should say, percent odds to hit, and these are the most valuable plays over on Prize Picks. Another good example is the line differentiation. Reed Dietmer's here, right? Over 5 strikeouts over on Prize Picks. The actual line on Sportsbooks is 5.5, so you're getting a way more valuable line on Prize Picks, half of a strikeout less to be able to pull trigger on the over. So guys, I have a link for this in the pinned comment. I use this tool every single day, but if you do want to check it out, use that link, but you also got to use code GUYBOSTON, GUYBOSTON, spelling bee champ. You'll get 25% off. I don't promote anything I don't use myself, and I've been rocking with Daily Grind Fantasy for a long time now, guys. Go ahead and check it out, especially if you're on the Prize Picks, the underdog apps of the world. Go check out this tool. It literally may change your game over there. So go check it out. Again, that link in the pinned comment. Make sure you use code GUYBOSTON. All right, next up, we have Colorado taking on San Francisco. just like I've been saying, this is not my favorite series whatsoever. San Francisco has won 2 straight here. This is the last game. I believe this is a getaway. Yeah. So this is the last game here between the three of the three. And Colorado's at home at plus 136. They've been kind of getting stomped 5-0, 8-6. I guess I lean San Francisco, but I don't think that I want to pull trigger on a minus 150 San Francisco team. I mean, if we do look at the dashboard against right-handed pitchers, it's not like their bats are all that terrible. Like, I'm probably not giving them enough credit, right? But overall, like Keaton Wynn, I don't really trust. Neither one of these bullpens looks all that great. San Francisco on the road has only won 36.4% of their games. Like, there's nothing overly saying that this San Francisco team should be a lock. So why would I pay minus 150 and beyond for it, right? But I just can't get to Colorado. If we look at this from, we dig into it, or if you look at it at a quick glance, like Colorado doesn't seem like it's the move. The only way I could say get to Colorado is, well, it's a getaway day. They're at home. San Francisco might be trying to get out of Dodge, saying, hey, we won 2 already. We'll take it as a win of a series no matter what happens in this game. But at the same time, plus 136 does not seem like it's enough of a bump in terms of plus money to pull trigger on Colorado. I will say I'm also going to lean towards the under again. In terms of our leans, we've now split that in the series, but this is 9.5, and that's a little telling to me. It's almost like this went from, I think it was like 10.5 to 10, and now it's at 9.5. I do think that this is going to be a low-scoring game, and again, maybe it helps that this is a getaway day for both teams. When I say getaway, I guess I just mean like it's a early game, because I think Colorado still plays. I could be wrong about this, but Colorado still plays at home, so they're not getting away. But San Francisco is playing here at 3 p.m., and then they go and play at home in the next series. So when I say getaway, I kind of just mean that this is the last of a series, day game, almost like getaway from the series game. Not in the traditional sense of like getaway, like they are flying to a new location or something. Most teams are, but I guess Colorado in this case is not. Yankees taking on the Astros. I'm going to continue to lean towards the over. I don't know why I have not pulled the trigger on it. Like yesterday, I really liked it. It was a 9-4 finish. I'm not sure why I haven't sacked up and taken it. Today would be a little risky, if you ask me, which I'm glad you do and you're at this video. But we have Marcus Stroman on the mound for the Yanks, and then Ronel Blanco on the mound for Houston. So you look at both those squads, and you're kind of like, yeah, like our pitchers, I should say. You're like, I think those guys could probably suppress this offense. But that being said, both these offenses are looking really good in this sense. And Stroman hasn't had the best of times, I guess I could say, against the Astros. So I'm not all that concerned about him. I don't know if there's enough value in looking at Houston here. Plus 116. I would almost want it to be plus 120 and beyond, but at that point, am I splitting hairs? Perhaps. But, if we were to refer to the DNB list here, unfortunately, we've handcuffed ourselves, and we're not able to bet the Yankees until the 15th because we put them on the 15-day DNB, which is far too long, but we didn't know what we were doing when we were doing it, but I'm sticking to it. And also the comments of being like, it's dumb that you're doing that, like the Yankees should be the play today just because they're on your stupid. It's like, I understand that it's dumb, but that's the fun part of the DNB list. It sucks that I can't bet the Yankees in this series and they've won in dominant fashion 2 straight games. You know what I mean? Like, this is sports betting. We're looking for some extra fun here, and they're on the DNB until 5:15. It is what it is. Like, I like the comments of people being like, why don't you just take them off the list? And it's like, well, sure, but then that defeats the purpose of having the list for entertainment purposes in the first place. But nonetheless, my point being, I can't even bet the Yankees today because they're on the DNB, so I'll lean towards Houston, but I think I like the over more than anything, trusting the bats again, even with good pitchers on the mound. But these are obviously the best pitching head-to-head that we've seen in this series so far. But, I mean, in terms of game number 1, 10-3, yesterday 9-4, like, we'd need some serious regression offensively for the under to hit overall anyway, so hopefully we don't necessarily see that. A player prop I may consider here, and this is like, kind of loophole to bet the Yankees, is potentially looking at Ronel Blanco under 16.5 outs for near even odds over on DraftKings right now. I don't necessarily hate that spot, and it would probably, tend to the over also. Like, he doesn't come in and look as sharp as normal. In fact, he's probably not going to look as sharp as his first couple starts because he's so good there, and he's kind of regressed seriously. So maybe I do look at his under and outs. It's not necessary. It's 15.5, right? Or 16.5, excuse me. So you would need to get through, I guess 2 outs in the sixth type of thing. So 5 2/3 would cash it. But nonetheless, yeah, I think that could be a player prop lean. but I will say slight lean because we've seen him deal this season. Obviously, no hitter in his opening start, so slight lean right now. All right, Chicago taking on Cleveland here. Chicago coming off of a win yesterday, but they did lose 2 of 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays. And Cleveland coming off of taking 2 against Detroit. I believe they were favorites in all those games, so for what it's worth, they should have done that. Right now, you have on the mound is Eric Fetty for the White Sox, who has kind of quietly been decent. It's weird. He's been decent as well as Crochet for them, and they stink. On the mound for Cleveland is going to be Ben Lively, who has looked pretty damn good. 2.08 ERA, 1.02 whip, a FIP of 2.96, expected FIP decent at 3.33 as well. I think it's the Cleveland spot to me all the way, but again, their odds -160, you're not really gonna get me, going for that. So this is a Cleveland spot, but I don't necessarily love it. The way that just because of the price, I do love the play. The way that I might think about playing this would be taking a peek at Ben Lively's under 5.5 hits allowed. -115 over on Caesars as well as DraftKings right now. And this is a White Sox team that struggles, obviously, they struggle overall, but against right-handed pitchers, there's nothing that I'm looking at here saying, wow, they should be able to get to Lively, who has been pretty good overall this season. Even this pitch mix. So Lively's going to go fastball, sinker, slider, and then maybe change, right? Fastball, White Sox 30th in terms of runs above average. Sinker, 25th. Slider, 29th, and then even the changeup 29th. So there should be no real pitch that Lively's going to throw that Chicago gets to per se. So I think the way that I bet Cleveland here, in a sense, is betting on Lively. So it's kind of like taking Cleveland first 5 money line, but again, we're not going to get the best odds for that. You can even look at them first, full game because their bullpen's so much better, but overall, you're still paying -160 juice. So I think the way we kind of go around that and find a little loophole in that one is betting on Lively. So I'll take his under 5.5 hits. In terms of the total, I could see Cleveland getting to Fetty to some degree, but that total is so low, and we do have such a bad offense on our hand. Prior to scoring 4 runs yesterday and taking the win against Tampa Bay, the White Sox went 2 runs and 1 run, right? Cleveland, 7 runs, 5 runs, so you have kind of 2 tales of different tapes here. I'll lean towards the under, trusting that the books know what they're doing, placing that such a low number, but my favorite play in the spot, again, Ben Lively under 5.5 hits. Next up, we have Milwaukee taking on St. Louis, and Milwaukee's still checking the boxes when it comes to batting against right-handed pitchers, but Sonny Gray's on the mound for St. Louis, and he has been really, really good. Only in, I guess we could say, I was going to say only in the last few starts, but realistically, it's kind of been his entire season thus far, right? 0.89 ERA, pitching into the 7th inning more often than not, 1.5 FIP, an expected FIP of 2.3, whip is at 0.86. I have to trust the pitcher here. If this was an offensive game, I do think that this total would be a little bit higher than 8. So just kind of using that as a line reading tactic, give me the better pitcher in this spot. Tobias Myers on the mound for Milwaukee, which I don't even know if that guy's a real guy. I haven't seen much of him, but nonetheless. Sonny Gray is going to be my play here in a sense. Give me the Cardinals, -130 on the money line. Their bullpen is not terrible, so I don't want to sit here and act like they're terrible, but this could be a spot in which I just try to isolate obviously the pitcher. Their bullpen's rested. They should be better than Milwaukee. I understand all that, but if you're going to give me Sonny Gray, who's pitching like Cy Young-esque right now, I think we might just go first 5. So keep an eye on the pin comment, but give me St. Louis here on the money line, whether it's first 5 or full game. And then the total sitting at 8. I would have thought this would be an 8.5 type game with Milwaukee's bats against righties, but it's sitting at 8. So I'm going to lean towards the under as well. But I'll tell you transparently, I don't like that nearly as much as backing Sonny Gray here. All right, Angels taking on the Royals. My first play in this one, and the one that I like the most, is actually going to be taking a peek at a player prop. And I know we just talked about it on Prize Picks, where it might make sense to take the over on Reed Dietmer's strikeouts, but when it's at 5.5 here, I think that this could be a move because Prize Picks has it at 5, so completely different conversation, right? But being at 5.5, I do kind of lean towards the under overall. I don't necessarily think that, I should say I don't necessarily think he's the biggest strikeout guy, but he usually is like a 6 strikeout guy per game. I get that. But the Royals here, if we flash to the dash, there's one thing they're doing well against lefties this year, and it's not striking out. Only an 18.4% K rate. On the road at 21, like, it's not all that terrible. He has had a really good, this is strikeout rate up here, 26.7. It's like the only thing, like I said, he's kind of a 6 strikeout guy. Ben doing that well. But again, for what we're getting here, it's a Royals team that shouldn't strike out as much as they're predicting here against lefties overall. I think it's only, I want to say, like Melendez, Renfroe and Vasquez are going to be the big names in that lineup where they're against lefties, their strikeout numbers jump. Everyone else should be pretty good. So, yeah, give me the under in his 5.5 strikeouts. For odds right now, you're looking at -120, which seems like it's pretty fair as well. If we talk about money line here, I do like Kansas City. They're coming off of 2 out of the 3 wins against Milwaukee, and their offense kind of came alive in the last 2 games. 5 runs, 6 runs scored. Whereas the Angels, you could make the argument that they kind of came alive too. 9 runs, 5 runs, but they were going up against a puppy dog team in the Pirates. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily want to sit here and act like I'm giving the Angels so much credit for beating the Pirates, one of the coldest offenses in the league right now. Maybe them or the Reds are competing for that. So overall, I think I give Kansas City more credit for that. They're obviously the favorite here on the road. I lean towards them as well. From a total perspective, this one I went back and forth on, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but I'm going to lean towards the over. I think that Kansas City can potentially get to Dietmers, and we haven't even talked about Michael Wacha on the mound for Kansas City, who has a 5.5 ERA, a 1.5 whip, a FIP of 3.83. Like, nothing really to write home and tell mom and dad about either there for him. So I do think that, LA should be able to get a couple runs through on him. So over 8.5 is going to be my spot in that one. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's show. Before we do close out, one last plug to the Ev Singleton Show. Yes, I named it after myself because I'm a cocky bastard, but go check it out at 12 p.m. Eastern time. I would really, really appreciate some engagement on that. Hit the like button, comment on it, because I think we're going to make something pretty damn cool out of that show. It was, we fielded voicemails and heard from you guys in episode number 1, but I have some really cool guests lined up, which should be really, really fun. So hopefully you guys do enjoy that. Hopefully you enjoyed this show. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.